So today is Saturday the 21st of February. Today is a bit of a different day because usually what I do is I wake up, I slept 9 hours and 30 minutes last night, and that feels amazing. So I wake up usually around 10:30, and then I shower, eat, and then I start working on my coachings, and then later during the afternoon I go train from 5 to 8, and then I go to Tesco to buy some food for the week, and then I come back home and I do other stuff in the evening. But my routine today is a bit different because I have a podcast this evening. So we record a podcast at 6 p.m. So it means I need to train earlier and I need to do my grocery shopping earlier. So I woke up still at 10:30 because I need my sleep. I'm so sleep deprived. I need my 9 hours plus sleep during the weekend or whenever I can. So I had a good night's sleep and took a shower. And now I start eating my meal and go to the gym. So it will be an early training for me. So I need to train in between let's say 1 and I'm really bad with math. 1 to 4, so about 3 hours because I'm doing back and shoulders. So it takes a little while, going through all the back and then shoulders at the end. Just takes a little while. And I need to catch up on arms because I didn't have time to do arms on Wednesday. I never have time because I train late after work. So I need to train and then grocery shopping and then go home, podcasts, and then I have some other stuff to do change a litter box for my cats and stuff like that and walk my dog and yeah. So it's going to be a busy day today. So a bit of a different schedule and a lot of coaching work. So yeah, I have a lot to go through because I have one coaching request to answer and I have a new client that we started only a week ago. So it's the first week on the coaching, so it's going to be a lot of things to go through and my usual coaching check-in. So it's going to be also a busy day for coaching. So yeah, it's going to be a very busy day. I might go to bed pretty late. But I just need to go through all the mandatory for today, which means training, grocery shop because I have no food left, and do the podcast and coaching and stuff. I can do it a bit around. That's not an issue. So yeah, that's going to be my day today. Little update on me and my knees and my physique and stuff. So I'm sitting around when I'm sleeping today. I'm 84.7. I was 84.7 this morning, but during the week when I sleep about 7 hours, I'm around 85.5 kilo. So let's say I'm around 85. At the moment, I'm still 5'2". I'm not growing anymore, unfortunately. So I'm still a small girly. I took some pictures post-workout yesterday, so I'll just put them here so you can see a bit how I look. I'm not lean, okay? I'm not lean at all. I have a bit of body fat, which is normal and which should be the case in off-season, especially because I'm toward the end now. I should start prep end of April, beginning of May, and now it's very end of February. So it's just 2 more months left. So I'm really toward the end of my off-season. So of course I'm going to be a bit fluffy, okay? So it's I think it's important to show also my body when I'm a bit fluffy. So yeah, that was my post-workout yesterday. I haven't checked myself for a little while, so I was right, I have a bit of time today. Let's see how I look, because I tend not to do. I'm not doing any posing, and I tend to not look at my physique when I'm in off season. I just focus on training hard, getting stronger, and scale weight, and I'm just basing myself on that. And as long as it progresses, I'm happy, because with that comes muscle mass. And when you're fat in off season, it's hard to see really anything. and I tend to like just hate how I look. So I'm like, I don't want to expose myself to that and be like, oh, I look like shit, great. So I prefer not to. I'm not happy with like, I would like much more mass on my legs. I would love having like very, very huge legs, like that kind of comes out like that, and having a small waist, but that I can't control, unfortunately. But that really bothers me, having a big waist, because it just like throw all the proportions off. But it's just my skeleton and just how I'm built. Unfortunately, I can't change that, so it's just trying to get bigger everywhere and create more of an X frame, because my waist is not going to get any bigger. Really, yes, my abs are getting bigger, but it's not going to really grow compared to like back and shoulders and legs. So by bringing these muscles up, I can kind of create X-frame, but it's never going to be as good as somebody with a good skeleton. But I can't change my skeleton, so that's it. But yeah, I want more mass on my legs. Transition to my knees. My knees are the best they've ever been since they're starting hurting about 10 months ago. I'm not sure if it's because of the new peptide I added to my routine. So I started with GHK, copper, in addition to BPC and TB, for like knee, joint health and help with like connective tissue repair and stuff like that. So I only started that 3 weeks ago. So like when I started my new program, I also started with this new peptide, adding it to my routine, and I also changed my training split. So because I was getting stronger and stronger and stronger again, and then I felt like training quads 3 times per week was beginning to be too much, because I was getting stronger. So the weight I was using were, of course, heavy, and I felt my recovery was not really on point with my muscles and my knee. So because I used to do like leg press 3 times per week, only 2 sets on the other days, which are not like quads focused, but it was still like 3 times per week leg press. And with me becoming stronger again after my knees like went really bad, and then I was regaining my strength and stuff, it was just too much. So I changed to quads focus on Tuesday, which has 3 sets of leg press and 2 sets of Smith-Brugge and split squat. On Friday, it's my quads and hamstring, where I have 2 sets of pendulum, 2 sets of leg press, and 2 sets of unilateral leg extension. I'm using that more like a rehab exercise for my knees. And then on Sunday, I have no quads. It's only glutes and hamstrings. It means between Tuesday and Friday, I have 2 full days off. And between Friday and Tuesday, I have 3 full days off. So it's much more time for my quads and for my knees to recover. And it feels so much better doing it this way. So I'm happy with that. So now I'm in my 4th week. I'm ending my 4th week with this new training program. But my knees, I felt really an improvement this week with my knees. Like on Tuesday, during the training, I had no knee pain compared to like usually I do have some level of pain. But it felt really good on Tuesday. And then after the training, usually I'm pretty sore for several days. Like my knees feel very sore, and when I flex my leg, it kind of hurts, and it's really like uncomfortable and sore and inflamed. But on Tuesday after training, I felt much better, and my knees felt absolutely perfect the next day, much better than usual. And so I trained legs also yesterday. I did my quads and hamstrings yesterday. And during the training, best they ever felt again. No pain, well, less than usual at least, a lot less. A bit on the pendulum, but it was my first quad exercise, so they were not really warmed up yet. But then it went nicely. Like my second set of pendulum felt so much better, and leg press felt great, and leg extension felt better than last week. So everything feels better during training. And after training, like now, like even yesterday evening, I didn't feel like my knees were really sore. And now, they're alright. They're really alright. So I guess things are getting better, which I'm really, really happy with. I'm not sure if it's one or the other or both together, like the change of the training split so I can have more days off between my quads, my quad training and my quad exercising, and for my knees to recover a bit more, or if it's GHK copper addition that helped a lot, because this peptide is meant to be really good for ligaments. And I think my issue, well, I need to do imaging, and that's something else. It's another kind of work. I'm trying to solve that out. But I think the main issue with my knees is cruciate ligaments. It might also be definitely some wear and tear. I think there is definitely some wear and tear. But I think there is also like a ligament issue, and GHK copper is meant to be really good for that, for like ligament repair and also like hair and skin, but ligament repair. So I just feel like I really noticed like, just perking up and getting so much better this week. So it might be both together, like more rest and GHK copper added to my usual stack. But it feels amazing, and I'm only on 500 microgram of BPC 157, 500 microgram of TB 500, and 2.5 milligram of GHK copper. So I'm not with high doses, because usually like when you have acute injury, you can go to like 5 milligram of GHK copper, and you can go for like 1 or 2 milligram of BPC and TB, and I'm just like kind of low dose, like kind of maintenance, and trying to prevent more injury and trying to slowly heal my injuries and my knee pain and stuff. But so far so good. I had a good week this week with my knees, so hopefully it will keep getting better and better and better. But my strength is going up a lot, and I feel good, so I'm really happy. So yeah, that's kind of like a little recap with that. So yeah, I'll crack on because today is going to be a big day. And yeah, I'm going to eat a meal and go train back and shoulders. So today we do a glutes and hamstrings focus training. I've done my leg curls already, 2 sets of seated leg curl. First set, 8 reps with 180 pounds, and second set, 12 reps with 160 pounds, which were like RP10. I couldn't do another rep, so that's what we want. That's how your set should end. You should go to failure with, of course, like very good tempo and control. Like the entire set has to look the same. No long pause in between reps. No like rushing it. You have to own and fully control every single rep. Like execution has to be on point the entire set. So that's done. Now it's time to do hip thrusts. So it's really my big compound on this training, because then it's only isolation work, like leg curls and glute kickbacks and hyperextension. So hip thrust is really the big movement. So today the goal is 8 reps, 2 sets of 8 with 240 kilograms, and then back off set for 12 reps with 205. I've been really struggling with that back off set because my glutes are very like powerful and strong, meaning I'm really good until 10 reps, and after 10 reps my strength is just plummeting because I don't have a lot of type 1 fibers is more like type 2, that very like low rep, strong kind of fibers, and not really endurance type. So I'm struggling a bit with higher reps on hip thrusts. Like for the past 3 weeks, I failed at 10 and 11 reps. I didn't manage to do like 12. So hopefully today I can do 12. Maybe not. We just have to see how it goes. Like I managed to progress my 8 rep set, but I haven't managed like progressing my back off with 12. So we'll see how it goes today. So that's my big compound. So I'm going to warm up now. I'm doing about usually one. I think I'm only doing one warm up on hip thrusts. I usually do only one warm up. Yeah. So I usually do one warm up at 3 plates per side, and then I move on to my top set. It's just that like hip thrust is a big kind of compound movement, but it's still somewhat of an isolation one. So I don't feel like I need to do many warm-up sets on this one. Like just want to get the feel, and then I'm just jumping on my top set. Even when I go for very like heavy loads, I think I've always done that, and I'm fine with that. So yeah, we start warming up, and then get to work, and hopefully get those fucking 12 reps on my third set. But also like it's a movement where it's going to be really hard when your glutes are fully contracted. But a stretched muscle is a strong muscle. Like a stretched muscle can produce much more force compared to a shortened muscle. So a contracted muscle can't produce that much force. So a contracted short muscle is weak compared to a stretched muscle. So with the hip thrust, with gravity, it's the hardest when your muscles are the weakest, but it's the only pattern when you can actually load this way. So I think it's a good add-on to like squats and leg press and everything, where it's the hardest when your muscle is stretched. So it's a good add-on, so you have like a full work on your glutes, but it means you fatigue a lot faster, because it's so much harder when your muscles are weak that just fatigue accumulates exponentially. So usually after, like along the sets, it's really hard to maintain performance, and especially that back off set, I'm really struggling. So we'll see how it goes today. Going to warm up, and you'll see my top sets and back off sets.
To the cold of the static, put my cold feet on the floor. God, I'm about yesterday. Remembering, I'm pretending to be where I'm not anymore. A little taste of hypocrisy, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes, slow to react. Even though you're so close to me, it's still so distant, and I can't bring you back. It's true, the way I feel was promised by your face. The sound of your voice painted on my memories. Even if you're not with me, I'm with you. Now I see, keeping everything inside. You, now I see, even when I close my eyes. You, when you hit me back, we fall to the floor. The rest of the day stands still. Fine line between this and that. When things go wrong, I pretend that the past isn't real. I'm trapped in this memory, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes, slow to react. So even though you're close to me, you're still so distant, and I can't bring.
Hip thrusts are done. My spinal rectors are so horribly pumped. Like, oh my lord, it's horrible. I get the worst ever pumps, like on my spinal rectors, lower back, in off season, end of off season. I think it's just from like all the carbs and all the fluid. I get pumped really easily, and spinal erectors are kind of a like strong point for me. They always have been like very developed, even early days, and they get pumped really easily. And on the hip thrusts are all like hinge movements, deadlifts. But to be fair with the belt, deadlifts are alright because the belt helps me to brace, so I don't have to use my like core and spinal erectors as much to stabilize the movement and to brace. So to be fair, on stiff leg deadlift, I don't get really like nasty pumps, nasty lower back pumps. But on the hip thrust, oh my lord, it's horrible. So I'm sitting down and trying to rest my lower back so I can go on the leg curls, but my glutes are sore too, my glutes are pumped too, but yeah, lower back is horrible. It's just like a horrible, painful pump compared to other types of pump. Anyway, so I managed, well, I did my 8 reps on my first 2 sets. So I managed doing 8 reps with 240 kilo, but the back off set, I managed only 10 reps, 10 and a half. I didn't manage to finish my 11th. It's really bad, like it really annoys me because it feels very easy until I reach 10 reps. And when I reach 10, after that, it's like my strength just goes down exponentially and it feels horribly hard and I don't manage to do more. But anyway, I went to failure, that's all that matters. So yeah, still happy with it, had a good pump. Happy with the increase because I increased by 5 kilo on my first 2 sets because last week I did 235 and not the 240, so it's plus 5 kilo from last week. So it's a win, I'm happy with that. I did my best, I went to failure. So yeah, it was hard though, it was hard. And I'm going to keep it the same for next week. I'm not going to increase more because I feel like it was really challenging and I can milk some more progress next week, like keeping the same load but getting more comfortable with it, if it makes sense. And if it's challenging enough, if you go to failure, like I think like if I try to add a bit more weight, I would not be able to do 10 reps. Like if I try to do 245, I don't think I would be able to do 8 reps. So it's better to just keep the same load, do it again the week later, own it, like try to get your technique better maybe, or like the last rep, like just have a better lockout at the top, and then when it feels easier, when it feels like you really own the movement, then you can progress it the week after. But yeah, that was challenging enough. So I'll keep it the same for next week. And now I'm going on the prone leg curl, 2 sets of 10. So 120 pounds, 2 sets of leg curl to have a bit more hamstrings, but different kind of resistance compared to seated leg curl. So yeah, just my hamstring work there, and then cable kickbacks. So yeah, let's go for leg curls.
To the floor, the rest of the day stand still. Fine line between this and that. When things go wrong, I pretend that the past isn't real. I'm trapped in this memory, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes. Slow to react, so even though you're close to me, you're still so distant. I can't bring you back. It's true. The way I feel was promised by your face. The sound.
I'm very much so dead right now, but I've done the worst bit. I've done my like big taxing movements. So that kickback is horrible. It's my first time doing 70 kilo. So first time ever. It's a 4 kilo increase from last week. So 2 sets per leg of 12 reps with 70 kilo. Wow, it was tough, but I got good work done. Like I could actually feel my glutes very well. So I'm keeping the same next week because it was tough. It was really tough, but that's done. So yeah, you can tell I'm dead inside. But I still have, well, now it's kind of the quick, easy ones remaining. So I have 1 set on this machine on the hyperextension. So only 1 set. It's just to kind of finish work for glutes and hamstrings. But to be fair, on this one, because of the angle, I feel my hamstrings more. So it's kind of just a finisher for hamstrings and glutes. And then I'm going upstairs for adduction, abduction, and abs. 2 sets of each. So yeah, it killed me. This session killed me. So I'm going for my set there. 1 set, 12 reps. 12 reps. I'm still debating if I'm keeping 20 kilo or if I try to increase a bit. Because I did 20 kilo last week. So yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll see if I can, because it's just hard to find something to grip on this one. I could use a dumbbell, to be honest. But so far, I felt like discs were a bit better for me. So I'll see how it goes. But yeah, 1 set of 12 reps and then upstairs.
To the floor, the rest of the day stand still. Fine line between this and that. When things go wrong, I pretend that the past isn't real. I'm trapped in this memory, and I'm left in the wake of the mistakes. Slow to react, even though you're close to me, you're still so distant. I can't bring